Welcome to e-grant, the new online web-based application portal for the Ministry for Higher Education and Science. This is where you'll have to apply for funding for research and innovation in the future. To start your application, enter the Ministry's website vejledning.dk. Press Research and Innovation and Funding Programs for Research and Innovation. At the bottom of the list, you'll find e-application systems. On vejledning.dk, you have the possibility of finding answers to technical frequently asked questions, reading about how the system works right now, logging on to e-grant, and to set up your application. Under Set up your application, press Find the link to start your application. You now see an overview of current calls for application. Find the right one and press Start an application. The system will now redirect you to e-grant.dk. You will be met by the login site to e-grant. Everybody in possession of a NemID should choose Login with NemID. This will redirect you to NemID's own website. After filling in your personal data, press Next and you'll be directed back to e-grant. If you don't have a NemID, choose instead Persons with no NemID. Here, you can set up an e-grant user. Fill in the necessary information and press Set up User in the bottom of the page. Once you've registered on e-grant, you'll receive an activation email in your inbox. Simply follow the link to activate your user. So once you've followed the link from the activation email, you will have to press Send Activation Code. This will send a single-use passcode to your cell phone, which you registered in the previous step. Now you fill in the activation code and your own personal password. After this, press Activate User and you're registered. Now we're back on the welcome site to e-grant. Press Create New Application in the bottom left corner and you'll be redirected to vejledning.dk once again. You'll see the current calls for applications, and this is also where you can start up your application. Now, after choosing the right link under Calls for Application, you're ready to start up your application. Fill in the title and the instrument, and choose Language beneath. After this, you press Create Application, and you're ready to get started. Now press View Application. Depending on your internet browser, this may either open a new tab or a window. This is where you read all necessary information about your specific application form, and also where you type in the necessary data for your application. As an applicant moves on with the application, the system validates the registered data. This means that you can follow the process of the application on the left side of the window, under Application Steps. For every application form, data is validated as you go along. You therefore won't be able to save and proceed without the system telling you to either change an incorrect format or to fill out missing boxes. If an applicant needs help filling out the rest of the application from, let's say, a professor or an employee, simply go back to the previous tab or window and refresh the page. You'll now have a menu called My Applications. When you enter My Applications on e-grant, there are 4 stages of an application. You can follow your own specific application from under preparation all the way to processed. You can also choose to add a participant to the application. Enter the specific application and press Add Participant in the right side. When adding a participant to an application, be aware of the section Function. Here you can choose between Agent or Aid, and this will determine the rights you're granting the participant on your application. You furthermore have to write an access code. It is your responsibility to provide the access code to the person you invite. Now you also have the possibility of writing a comment, which will be included in the invitation email. After filling out all the necessary information, press OK, and the participant will receive an email with the invitation. Now let's say you've chosen the wrong instrument and you want to cancel your application. This can be done with just a few clicks. Once you've confirmed the cancellation of your application, you can go to Under Preparation to verify that your application is no longer active. Instead, go to the tab Cancelled, where your application will now be. This is how you follow the process of an application on e-grant.